It's my first interview, so...
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, with someone who's like not my friend. So...
Was Uncle Crappy your friend?
Didn't interview him, just got him to sing my guitar.
Okay. Joe Jonas is your mate?
Oh, I wish.
Okay.
He
When we
doesn't
lived
know
together.
who we are. Okay. So I'm with Ed Sheeran at Mix 106.5. Ed, what was your best experience of your career so far?
There've been quite a few things, to be honest. I'd say as a whole, 2011 was a kind of euphoric year. It was all very fun. It was all kind of like a very gradual rise and then sudden burst of success. And I think 2012 is going to be similar stateside. We're kind of, starting off very gradually again, and hopefully the wheels will be put in motion soon.
2011, your album was released in the UK, and how many singles?
I had 4 top 10s, and then the album went to number 1 and did 1 million copies by Christmas, and it was released in September, so I was very, very happy with that.
Did you perform any exciting shows?
The festivals were actually quite good. Having hit singles and playing festivals is like, I played festivals without hit singles, so I know like both sides, and you kind of like usually when you play a festival, you kind of play to people and they kind of dig it, and it's fun. But when you play songs that are on the radio and people know, it's just this whole different thing where you just get a choir of people just screaming back to you, and it's really cool.
I always thought it was really cool to sing a song and have everyone sing along to the lyrics. Is that?
Yeah, and that doesn't actually get old at all. Every single gig I do, I'm always like, yes, this is wicked. I don't think that will get old. I mean, you kind of. I saw a video of Bruce Springsteen playing at Glastonbury and him getting everyone to sing on to Born in the USA, and that looked like a cool moment.
Did you have a particular show so far in your career that has stood out to you as your favorite?
Brixton Academy in January. Yeah, I played 2 sold-out Brixton Academies, and it was mental. Yeah, it was like a festival in a venue. Okay.
How did it feel when you got your record deal?
I couldn't have been less interested, if I'm honest. I have to be honest. Like I had the whole label thing when I was around 16, and no one was interested. So I did the independent thing for 4 years and released 5 independent EPs. And the 5th EP ended up charting, and kind of gave me my pick of my labels. So record deal wise, wasn't really too fussed, but team wise, I got a really good team around me. So I was more excited about my team and the people working for me and how far we could take it. But a deal doesn't really mean anything. It's all about the people that work at the company, and if they're no good, then fuck your deal. It doesn't really matter. I'm right? Yeah. I mean, you could get 500 grand for a deal and still flop, or you could get. I got a very small amount for my record deal, but I have at Atlantic some of the best press, some of the best TV players, some of the best radio, some of the best international, and that's the reason why it's worked. It's not the kind of money side of it.
What about the first time you heard your song on the radio?
That was quite a letdown, actually, because it was exciting to begin with. But I was in the car with my girlfriend, and she was dropping me off at the station, and we were in the car and got to the station. The song had just begun, and I was like, "Oh, wicked! Yeah, my song's on Radio 1 for the first time." And then she's like, "Yeah, cool, stop at the station." She turns the engine off and takes the keys out, and suddenly the radio cuts off, and I'm like, "Oh no, my first time on radio!" And I only had 10 seconds of it. She puts the car keys back in, turns it, gets the radio, but then we have to search the station again, and by the time we get there, it's the final chord, and a tiny bit disappointing, but still kind of cool to begin with.
If you could perform with any artist, living or dead, on stage, who would it be?
Stevie Wonder. Yeah, Stevie. I think because of huge acts and bands, Stevie Wonder's always kind of put amongst the greats, but no one really realises that he's probably one of the best songwriters to ever live. So that's him. That's that box ticked off. And then he's one of the best singers to ever live, so there's that box ticked off. And then he's one of the best pianists, one of the best harmonica players, one of the best drummers, one of the best guitarists, one of the best bassists, just all round. And then as a performer, he's incredible. Like his band is phenomenal, and he's blind. So like all of that added together, if you were to put that up against any one member of like the Rolling Stones or something like that, it's Stevie Wonder's just a different entity to the entire musical world. I think he's incredible.
Do you have any collaborations with current artists that you would like to work on? Or have you worked on any that you're proud of?
I don't know. There's a B.O.B. tune, which I don't know if it's made its record, but that was quite a cool tune. I really like that one. There's the Yellow Wolf stuff that I put out. I don't know. I'm kind of focusing on making myself a success first, without using other people to get me there. And then once I'm at a place where I feel comfortable to collaborate with my peers, then I will.
What was it like working with B.O.B.?
I didn't actually, meet him. I got sent the track and did the hook. I spoke to him on the phone, and that was about the extent of it. We both are touring, promoting at the moment, and trying to hold down anyone whilst they're promoting an album is impossible.
Well, we're going to switch a little bit to talk about America. You're visiting America.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite place you've been to in America?
I'm going to have to say Nashville, just because it's kind of like musical mecca. Like, every single musician ends up in Nashville and just falls in love with it. The whole vibe there, and the talent that's there, and just the feeling you get. We played the Ryman's Theatre, which is the kind of really famous place there, and I unplugged my guitar and sang a cappella, and it worked. It was this kind of amphitheatre. It was amazing.
Do you have a favorite or least favorite thing about America? Or both?
I'm finding it hard to stay healthy here. I'd say that's not something I dislike, because I love food and I love lots of food. It's just like every day you're just like, what should we have? Burrito? Yeah. Cover it with cheese? Yeah. Maybe have some chips with that? Yeah. Maybe have a fucking 5-gallon thing of Coca-Cola? Yeah, why not? Like, it's really easy to do here, and back in England, like, our portions are a lot smaller, so we tend to be a bit petite, but I'm filling out. It's cool.
What are some things that you miss about home when you're over here?
My family and friends, family and friends.
Anything specifically British? I miss Greg's and WKD. They're my favorite things that I had in England.
She constantly reminds us too.
Yeah, no, Greg's is cool. Greg's is cool. WKD, I'm not too sure on. I don't know. You guys pretty much, you can find anything. There's a drink in England called Robinson's Fruit and Barley, and that's my favourite drink. It's like a cordial drink. It's like orange squash or something. And I thought you guys didn't have that. My first gig here in Orlando, orange squash on my rider. I was like, yeah, nice one. So yeah, I'm good.
Can you give us your best American accent? And you were doing some different dialects before, so I know you can do one.
Give me something to say, and then like a full sentence.
Okay. How about?
Or like me just explaining something.
Yeah. Can you tell us in your best American accent why you love America?
Man, I love the USA because when I came here first, it was just so welcoming and accepting, and I was just like, man, y'all got love for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know what I mean? I at the chicken house, the Waffle House, went to IHOP, spent about $40 on fucking, you know what I mean? It was hot, it's tight. Fire.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I have some lightning round questions for you. So I have a podcast called Star Spangled Jack, and I talk about the U.S. versus the U.K. in different categories. So who do you think has better music, the U.S. or the U.K.?
I think there's a definite crossover. I think the UK do rock and roll, and what else do we do? Okay, so I think the Americans do rap music very well, and English always follows the rap artists, and it does country music very well, and there's some musicians in England that follow the country music, whereas England do rock and roll very well, and you get bands like the Strokes who are influenced by bands like the Libertines and stuff like that, or who else? I mean, we do people like Adele well. I mean, there hasn't been an Adele of America yet, like that kind of thing. So there will be lots popping up now, that kind of thing. So I think each country doesn't do any sort of music better. We all kind of swap influences and stuff. Everyone has their strengths and everyone has their weaknesses, but I think both countries are musically strong.
And where do you think has better girls, U.S. or U.K.?
Australia. So I know that's,
none of the above.
I wouldn't be able to say because I've been insulting both countries. So if I just go Australia. Yeah, I like Australians. They're cool.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you wanted to say? to America? To Baltimore?
Baltimore, more.
The Wire.
The Wire. Omar coming. The album is out June 12th. The single, The A-Team, is out on iTunes now with an EP, and all my music videos are online. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. I do ramble a bit. And yeah, come to a tour date at some point. Nice
When are you touring until?
I'm touring for the next 55 days, and then I'm back in June for a few shows, and then I'm back in September for another full tour.
Well, best of luck in the UK and US with your success.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pick up the pieces and build a Lego house. And if things go wrong, we can knock it down. My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you. And it's dark in a cold December, but I got you to keep me warm. If you're broken, I will mend you, and I keep you sheltered from the storm that's raging on now. I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. I'll do it all for you in time. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. Now I'm gonna paint you by numbers and color you in. And if things go right, we could frame it and put you on a wall. And it's so hard to say it, but I've been it before. Now I'll surrender up my heart and swap it for yours. Now I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. I'll do it all for you in time. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. Don't hold me down now. I think my braces are breaking, and it's more than I can take. Oh, and it's dark in a cold December, but I got you to keep me warm. If you're broken, I will mend you, and I keep you sheltered from the storm that's raging on now. Now I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. I'll do it all for you in time. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And out of all these things I've done, I will love you better now. See, I'm true, my songs are where my heart is. I'm like glue, I stick to other artists. I'm not you, now that'll be disastrous. Let me sing and do my thing, I'm in between a past you. See, I'm real, I do it all, it's on me. I'm not fake, don't ever call me lazy. I won't stay put, give me the chance to be free. Soft like Sally seems to sort of suffocate. Cause you need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. So you need me, man, I don't need you. 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 So you need me, man. I sing, I write my own tune and I write my own verse. Don't need another wordsmith to make my truth sell. Call yourself a single writer, you're just bluffing. Names on the credits and you didn't write nothing. I sing fast, I know that all my shit's cool. I will blast and I didn't go to Brit school. I came fast with the way I act right. I can't last if I'm smoking on a crack pipe. And I won't be a product of my genre. My mind will always be stronger than my songs are. Never believe the bullshit that fake guys speak to you. Always be the stories that you hear on Wikipedia. And musically I'm demonstrating. Whenever I perform live, feels like I am meditating. Comes at the Enterprise when some fella filmed me. Young singer writer like a Gabriella. Cause you need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. So you need me, man, I don't need you. 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 So you need me, man. All I want in this club, what I see, make music and use it, not to abuse it and get infected with it. Who music, who did it, who is it, who's in it, what the hell does it matter? Chitter chatter, don't matter. Yada, don't matter to me. All I want is a bit of dignity in me to battle. Listen to she freely to me in the city, we do work and you hear me. Hey, so I keep singing that when I first started this rap and shit off the pressure from haters became invaded with sadism, just developed a hate invader. I'm named for the stars, kept my grind in the dark. And I made with the remedy, kicking rhymes, the melody, Hennessy shots and all these fools on the block who said you got to be a gangster now to raise the top. I'm just a normal, casual, usual, everyday type of guy, my head in the sky. And you know, I'm ready to die, so see the signs. Stand to the side, open your eyes and take a look and realize your resurrections arise and as a mist clears. I arise from my tomb in the skies, alone, star, up an angel rising from the ashes, surprising all haters guiding and moving. I said that you can find me in the club, but I fill above. Mommy, I got the hex, getting and taking drugs, and they're having sex, signing and making love. Come and give me a hug, didn't again wrong. Find me in the club, but I full of bubbly. Mommy, I got the hex, getting and taking drugs, and they're having sex, signing and making love. Come and give me a hug, didn't again wrong. Now my eyes are red, I've been burned, I've been burned. My eyes are red, I've been burned, I've been burned. My eyes are red, I've been burned. I've been burning on a spliff of your eye grey. My eyes are red, I've been burned, I've been burned, burned. Where I come from, morning we did is a habit. I think for bag of egg, you know I got to have it. Cause if I don't have it in my pockets, I come to panic. Cause like I say, what I come from, when smoking is a habit. Yeah, I found up always, I've been out older whenever things I haven't acted like a ghetto man should. Whenever things are smoking weed, yes, it makes me feel good. But I since I mean it, yes, it makes me feel. For me, it's around a couple since I mean it is a drug. And if I start to smoke it, I'm gonna turn into a thug. Where come from that they talk, it could only get you mugged. Where come from morning weed, it is a blessing from above. Where come from, yes, you bonnet, when me listen rubber dove. Where I come from, yes, you bonnet, after we dust and make a love. Where come from, yes, you bonnet, when the sun starts shine. I plays I agree beat all the time. Now my eyes are red, cause you need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, my eyes are red. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, my eyes are red. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, my eyes are red. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me. With the lyrics I'll be aiming it right. I won't stop till my name's in lights. Stadium heights with Damien Rice and red carpets. Now I'm on Arabian Nights because I'm young and all my brother's gonna give me advice. Long nicer, short height and I've gone hyper. Never be anything but a singer-songwriter. Yeah, the game's over, but now I'm on a new level. Watch how I step on the track without a loop pedal. People think that I'm bound to blow up. I've done around about 1,000 shows, but I haven't got a house, plus I live on a couch. So you believe the lyrics when I'm singing them out. Wow, from day one I've been prepared. With the 5 wax for my ginger hair. So now I'm back to this whole forgiving a dose of what the future holds, cause it's another day. Got track for the old clothes, I'm rap with the cold flows. I'm back with the old jokes, in fact you don't know. Track the throw blows to make my punchlines relevant. If you can't keep up, you'll get none irrelevant. Flow's developing, skin that's the melanin. Give me a shot of adrenaline and I get it in. Do it for the hell of it, cause ever since I hit the mainstream with the 18 I seem to sell it. That's why I'll be back with the women. The package, the image, putting some content. Then I sold it back as a gimmick, the fact is I'll end up dating actors, wake up and dirty mattresses. I think I need to practice. Make shit happen, call me a laxative. Wheels on my shoulders, I don't even know where Atlas is. My butt sharp like a cactus is. I'm back to rapping back to back as I've been practicing. I'm practicing this. Cause you need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you at all. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you at all. You need me, man. I'll keep my last name forever, keep this genre pretty basic. Gonna be breaking into other people's tunes when I chase it and replace it with the elephant in the room with a facelift. Into another rapper's shoes, using new laces. I'm selling CDs from my rucksack, aiming for the papers, selling CDs from my rucksack, aiming for the majors nationwide till we just jack instead of get the bus back. Clean cut kid without a razor for the mustache, I hit back. When the pen hurts me, I'm still a choir boy in a Fen church tee. I'm still the same as a year ago, but more people hear me though according to the MySpace and YouTube videos. I'm always doing shows, if I'm not, I'm in the studio. Truly broke, never growing up, call me Rufio. Melody music maker, reading all the papers. They say I'm up and coming like I'm fucking in an elevator.
Sheila, Watko.